Welcome to Trends on Thursdays, where I'll tell you about the trends I discussed with my clients this week. This week I'll talk about SEO, podcasts, WhatsApp, and Shoppable social. First up, you need to think about how your pages and blog posts show up in search results and social media shares. Since Google is looking to keep you on their platform a little longer now, following suit with Facebook, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms, you really need to work out how to make your pages comply with that goal. Besides, do you really want to leave it up to some random AI algorithm which part of your hopefully brilliant post on the latest new industry shows up in the preview on Facebook? Probably not. Using the right plugins and tools means you can choose which preview picture and which snippet is chosen when your page is scraped. A new service called URL Genius now lets your content show up native on social if you click on it rather than it opening in a browser window. Remember, all the information that you put out has to be easy to find, use, understand, and summarize in order for you to get the most out of every word you publish. We recently worked with a client that has a load of great content, but none of it was findable. Their traffic increased by over 860% after we did some back-end magic to help Google understand what their site was all about. Next up, but related, recently some interesting numbers coming out of Andreessen Horowitz, I hope I pronounced that right, about the podcasting ecosystem. They're a Silicon Valley VC firm that manages like $10 billion in assets, by the way. Podcast listeners are consuming 6+ hours of podcasts a week, and that number is growing every year. Interestingly, Apple Podcasts has lost market share over the last couple of years, and Spotify has grown to almost 10%. Google Podcasts only has been around for about a year now, but I would expect it to grow very quickly now that it's part of the search engine results on Google. 62 million people have listened to a podcast in the last week and 90 million people in the last month. That's almost as many people as watched the Super Bowl. That's what I would call a market that's hard to ignore, especially because the buy-in is marginal compared to getting in even on just the local Super Bowl circuit. A podcast is fairly easy to set up and distribute, and remember, it makes you the authority. Next up, WhatsApp is cracking down on bulk and automated messages and threatening not only banning but legal action. The question is if that means before long spamming people with bots or garbage will get people sued instead of just banned. I'm fully in favor and actually think the phone carriers should start suing the robocall people. You know, your car's warranty is expired and so on. Anyways, we all know how marketers sometimes ruin everything, and after all, bulk messaging ruined email for a lot of people with endless solicitations ranging from stupid to useless or both. And it's mostly because people don't like to be interrupted and sold to while they're doing something else. I just had that discussion with a potential client today. Technology to call people up while they're looking at your email. Creepy Big Brother stuff or marketing genius, I'm really not sure. Anyways, back to WhatsApp, their Facebook product, of course, and a whole lot more popular in other countries. Currently only about 25 million users or so in the United States, but 200 million in India, and market penetration in a few European countries is in the 80+% range. If you haven't checked out WhatsApp for Business, it deserves a look, especially if you're doing business internationally or with people from foreign countries. I have a few clients overseas, and that's how I communicate with them exclusively via WhatsApp because it's their choice, and well, they pay me and I move with the market. One more, after several really bad attempts at making social shoppable, it's finally happening. Instagram checkout often offers a smoother experience to brands that were already driving lots of traffic through their Instagram profiles. And by the way, they're not alone, with several social apps in India and China aiming for similar markets. I think the only platform we can probably forget about will be Facebook, as most people wouldn't trust them with a ham sandwich, let alone their credit card number. But then again, people are forgiving when it comes down to a lot of things. But overall, I would expect probably Snapchat or LinkedIn to become shoppable before Facebook makes it work. Snapchat because the audience is close to that of Instagram, and quite frankly, it's time for them to steal something from Insta in return for Instagram stealing everything from them. LinkedIn because there is some content that would probably be worth buying. Think ebooks or courses, for example. Well, that's it for your Trends on Thursdays. If this was valuable to you, please share it with a friend in business, or if you have any input or critique, feel free to send me a private message. I will be back on Monday with a Monday Thought Starter after the weekend. Until then, I'm Tobias Wilhelm.